weather forecast. Rain changing over to snow later today with a high 48. Clearing late tonight, low 20. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 35. Mostly sunny, 25 on Friday. For Saturday, cloudy skies, high 32. And for Sunday, a chance for snow with a high of 38. Overnight low was 49. Yesterday's high was 40. We've had about 9/10 of an inch of rainfall fall here at the WFIW studios since about 8:30, 9 o'clock last evening. Right now, rain continues to fall. We've got 49, humidity at 98%, winds out of the south at 10 miles an hour, and the pressure at 29.91. 5 minutes past 8, it's time for morning coffee for a Wednesday morning. Morning coffee sponsored this morning by TTT Designs in Fairfield. They can bring your designs to life. Stop in and let TTT Designs complete your vision.
It's a rainy old morning.
Yeah. Ugh.
And we want to welcome Chris Connard to the studio. Chris, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Glad you could be here.
I've always been told I have a face for radio, so
we're going to show
you
it.
for giving me the opportunity.
We're going to show it.
We're going to prove it this morning,
absolutely.
right?
You can watch us on YouTube by going to the WFIW radio channel, or you can go to Facebook, and there'll be a link there that will link you up with our video presentation. Otherwise, just listen to us on 104.9 WFIW and WFIWradio.com.
And if you want to join us this morning, give us a call at 842-3715.
Geese was on the goose ganders. They were on the topic last night.
The Geese Gate has now been closed and locked.
Yes, it has. I was looking at out of Mount Vernon. Interesting problem in Mount Vernon. This is unique. The city of Mount Vernon is working with United States Department of Agriculture Wildlife Services in hopes of taking care of an ongoing problem in one of their parks. Geese.
Fancy that.
You have a theory on this.
Well, they heard the news this morning and found out that we're going to be pumped and ready for them next time they show their faces, and they've headed west.
Migrating.
They decided to go somewhere else. Interesting theory last night that was put up. These are not migratory birds, according to one of the city council members. These are ducks, geese, that stay in the area. They just shift around from Leo French Lake to the golf course lake to a couple of private lakes south of town. And they don't ever leave. They stay all winter.
And now they're going to Mount Vernon to visit.
They
got some relatives.
Guess
over
what?
There or something.
They had the same process. They've actually looked at the same things that the park district here looked at. They looked at painting the eggs, strobe lights, everything. They say it doesn't work.
Painting the eggs.
Yeah, with a chemical so that they won't hatch.
Okay. I thought you meant like Easter bunnies, Easter eggs.
Yeah.
And holding a big Easter egg hunt or something.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
no,
that'd
that's
be a way
not.
to get rid of
That
the
wasn't
eggs.
it. Anyway, they say that the USDA says they might have to conduct a charity harvest. There's an idea.
Harvest.
I guess that means you have to pay money to go in and shoot the geese.
Well,
I guess there's strangers ways to make
we're in
money.
a little bit of a pickle here financially in Fairfield. There's an idea.
What do you think? You think financially that might work?
I think that'd be a great fundraiser.
Probably would. The other thing, I got an email from somebody with other ideas, ideas probably that have already been thought about by our city fathers. Has anybody talked to area farmers and ponds that want them for their lakes? Since the geese mate for life, I doubt that many of the pairs will be captured and relocated. What about Samdale Lake Park? What about, cutting? You can do something with their wings so they can't fly.
So they can't fly, yeah.
Yeah. And so, some ideas given by a listener. I think the solution is at hand in Fairfield.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have your thoughts been on Goose Gate, Chris? Have you stayed out of the
I've
fray?
tried to stay neutral.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's the smart thing. That's the smart thing. It ended up, it was tabled, and then there was a pretty healthy crowd there last night. And there were lots of questions. There was a discussion about it. It came off the table and voted on. And But there were some good questions of Jay Fahey, who was there representing the Park District. The problem is, if you're a golfer, these geese are destroying the golf course, and the golf course is in a fairly fragile state financially anyway. So anyway, that's what it's.
So they decided on a controlled shoot?
That's what they're going to do. You've got to get a hold of the mayor. They're not going to just let everybody walk in there with a shotgun. And you have to have the right licenses and permits and stuff like that. I think the season's only good until the end of the month, if I'm not mistaken.
In political terms, you have to be thoroughly vetted.
Yes. Don't be toting your rifle or your shotgun and go to the lake this morning.
Yeah.
Thinking you're going to shoot a birdie. So I wanted to tell you that I made a wrong statement. I'm going to admit this. A factual error in this morning's commentary. So I'm coming clean. You can't do those things without making a mistake now and then, and you must admit it.
We're sure glad you are coming clean because you were starting to smell.
I shower once a week.
What that was in
It's
here,
toxic
Mark.
masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is.
We reek of masculinity in here, and you're not helping us here today, Chris, in that regard. I said that Los Angeles was dead last in attendance in the NFL. They are. But that's the Los Angeles Chargers. Mm-hmm. The Rams are number 10 in team attendance.
Well, the Chargers play at that little bitty stadium.
It's the same. Isn't it the same stadium
No,
that the Rams do?
I don't think they play at the same place. Rams play at the
Coliseum.
The Coliseum.
Yeah.
And I think the Chargers play at a location a little bit north of the Coliseum.
Yeah.
At another location that is a smaller venue.
When I looked at the attendance figures, it said Los Angeles number 32. Well, it also said Los Angeles number 10. I just didn't look up the chart. Anyway, point.
You were just looking because you're sore at the Rams for leaving St. Louis.
I'm not happy about that. I don't watch the point of the commentary is still the point. I don't watch the NFL because I'm still mad about how they handled St. Louis. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was full of lies and deceptions. So I'm mad at them about that. Clifford was here yesterday. Clifford Reaver was here, Chris, and he's mad about the way they handled the whole taking a knee thing last year, disrespect to the flag. So that's the reason why he doesn't watch the NFL. I used to watch the Super Bowl only to watch the commercials.
The commercials, yeah, me too.
Know? I don't know if I can do that even this year. But anyway, nonetheless, I pulled the commentary. I changed it on my blog so that it doesn't have a misstatement. And so I just wanted to come clean, make sure everybody knew that I can admit when I'm wrong.
Okay.
I'm not wrong about the point. The NFL is not legitimate in my view. When you look at that call and you know 7 professional referees were on the field, I think they wanted Los Angeles to go to the Super Bowl. What do you think?
I think you're right.
Woof! That's a first.
Well, yeah, but I do think you're right. I mean, I think the Chiefs, yes, Tom Brady with 2 minutes to go, you had to bet on him. Tom Brady gets the ball in overtime, you think, yeah, okay. But I think there were some questionable calls in that game. I've talked to some people that said Kansas City got the shaft.
Well, then did you see where there's like 800,000 people that have signed a petition to ask the NFL to play the Saints-Rams game over, which will never happen in a million years.
No. Well, there's no way. I mean, they're already gearing up for Media Week with the Super Bowl down at Atlanta.
Did you see the call?
I did not see the call.
Oh, I'm telling you,
not
it
a
was
sports
so
guy.
It was
so bad. It was so blatant. Well, I've got the stack of stuff. What are we going to do? Take a break before I do the stack of stuff, or are we going to get into it?
Let's go.
All right.
Let's go right into it.
January 23rd, here we are. In 1849, English-born Elizabeth Blackwell became the first woman in America to receive a medical degree. It was from a medical institution in New York. So the first woman doctor.
Wow. Now, see, it was just Monday that the first woman lawyer was in the colonies. We had her on Monday. It was like 1648 or something.
Women coming to the forefront. 1964, ratification of the 24th Amendment. Any guesses on what that is, team?
24th? That was the Civil Rights Act, wasn't it?
Yes, it was a form of it. It eliminated the poll tax in federal elections. That's the 24th Amendment. 1964, that was. 1968, you remember this? You might. You won't. You're too young. North Korea seized a U.S. Navy ship called the Pueblo.
Pueblo, yeah.
Yes. It was a spy ship, and they held the crew for 11 months.
Yep. I was going to say almost a year, I thought.
1971, in Prospect Creek Camp, Arkansas, the lowest temperature ever recorded in the United States, reported as
-73.
very close.
Minus 78.
Closer. Minus 80 degrees. How could
Wow.
that be in Arkansas?
In Arkansas.
Oh, Alaska. Excuse
Okay.
me. AK. Let me come clean. I made a mistake.
Again.
AK. Prospect Creek Camp, Alaska. AK.
Okay.
All right.
Wow. Well,
What's
see,
what's the one for Arkansas?
AR?
AR. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Now, see, we have some relatives. Tina has some relatives that worked up in Alaska in the oil fields.
Really?
And he would come back and he would tell us stories about, went out and, it was warm today. It was only minus 47.
Wow.
know?
You could freeze your niblets off up there. You really could.
You could freeze more than your niblets.
Yes. 1973, President Nixon announced there had been an accord that reached the end of the Vietnam War. Let me tell you something. For this fella, I was
You were
a
sweating bullets
sophomore.
for a
I was
while,
a
weren't
sophomore in high school. This was big news. Big news. I was very happy to see that because my academic progress might not have helped me when it came to the draft.
you? Huh.
All right. I've got on this date, there were a number of interesting things, birthdays, etc. Let me do birthdays first. John Hancock served as president of the First and Second Continental Congress, also the first signer of the Declaration of Independence. Ernie Kovacs, does that name ring a bell with anybody?
Ernie Kovacs. Cameraman in World War II?
No. He was an unusually experimental, often spontaneous comic. Many individuals and shows such as Johnny Carson and Letterman use him as a standard. He died at the age of 42 in 1962 in a car accident. The big controversy there was a photographer there and got pictures of him in and out of the car dead and published those.
Oh.
It was really bad. Anyway, he died, or his birthday is today. Ernie Kovacs, killed in a car accident in 1962. Princess Caroline, birthday today. She's my age.
Okay.
She was born in 1957. She's the daughter of Grace Kelly and the
Prince
Rainier.
Rainier?
Yes. And beautiful woman. She's always been seen as an incredible fashion person, someone that really knew how to dress.
Shops at TJ Maxx a lot, huh?
Here's one. Now, Chris, you're going to know this one. One I'm right in your wheelhouse.
Or
here.
Carnaby Square.
Book pal.
Tiffany Amber Thiessen, born on January 23rd, 1974, American actress, known as starring as Kelly Kapowski on NBC's Saved by the Bell. There you go.
She also appeared, I think, in 90210.
She did.
She was in that movie with Pauly Shore. About the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Son-in-law?
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law,
That's it.
that's
Yeah,
it,
son-in-law. That's it.
Thiessen born, she's been a teen idol. She was in the 1990s from her role as cheerleader Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell. She played Valerie Malone on Beverly Hills 90210. In a much-discussed moment, Justin Bieber appeared wearing a T-shirt with a photo of Thiessen in her Saved by the Bell days at the 2011 Music Awards, admitting his admiration for her. He also, Chris Paul, the basketball player, also said he was a big, she was pretty cute.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there you go. This date, on this date, there were some interesting things that happened. In 1975, Barney Miller made his debut.
Uh-huh.
That's the show that included Hal
Hal
Linden,
Linden,
Abe
Abe
Vigoda, Max Gale, Ron Glass, Jack Sue, that was a TV show about police station in New York.
Yeah, and they never really got out of the police station.
No.
They just kind of hung out there.
The A-Team debuted also on TV in 1983. American adventure action show about a United States Army Special Forces unit that was court-martialed for a crime they did not commit. They escaped and they did, stuff together. George Peppard, Dirk Benedict, Mr. T. That's where he became famous.
I pity the fool.
I pity him. I pity the fool. Also on this date in 1985, O.J. Simpson became the first Heisman Trophy winner to be elected to Pro Football's Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
The first
Heisman winner to get into the Hall of Fame. Isn't that interesting?
That is.
There
were some pretty good Heisman Trophy winners before O.J.
Yeah. But I mean, I see it. Some of those people just didn't gel in pro football for some reason. This date in music history, in 1941, Artie Shaw and his orchestra recorded Moonglow. In 1989, James Brown sentenced in Georgia to 6 years in jail for connection with a police chase through 2 states. The hardest working man in entertainment.
He became the hardest working man in custody.
Yes. 1990, Ellen Collins of Leonard Skinner died from chronic pneumonia. 1995, Courtney Love. Now there was an interesting woman. Appeared in Australian court on charges of abusing a flight attendant. She admitted to responding with an obscenity when a Qantas flight attendant told her to take her feet down from the airplane cabin wall. She got 1 month of good behavior as her sentence, so really not much of a...
Yeah.
Mariah Carey was let go by EMI Records on this date in 2002. They had planned several records, and the last... They dumped her. That's the long and short of it. 1977, Roots began on ABC. So there's the stack of stuff for this morning.
All right. There is
good stuff.
The stack of stuff. TTT Designs right here in Fairfield will design and print your ideas. Let TTT bring your design to life on items like shirts, coffee cups, car wraps, banners, flags, and more. With more than 1,000 different items available for printing, TTT will find the perfect order for you. We'll be right back.
At Hamilton Memorial Family Clinics, your family's care team is close to home. But it's not just about convenience, it's about quality care. From routine care to acute needs, Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics in Carmi and McLeansboro have you covered. Plus, same-day appointments are available and a Carmi walk-in clinic on Saturdays for those unexpected illnesses. With 7 providers and 9 specialty care clinics, maybe it's time to take another look at Hamilton Memorial Hospital Family Clinics.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another time capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when England's Queen Elizabeth made a rare live broadcast from Buckingham Palace?
Since last Sunday's dreadful news, we have seen throughout Britain and around the world an overwhelming expression of sadness at Diana's death.
The next day, 50 million Americans watched Princess Di's funeral on TV. We also said farewell to Mother Teresa, Red Skelton, and Burgess Meredith.
Correct, boy wonder.
The LA Dodgers were sold to Rupert Murdoch for $350 million. In tennis, Patrick Rafter became the first Aussie in over 20 years to win the U.S. Open. We got our first peek at Ally McBeal, the Dodge Durango, and heard songs like these on the radio.
Goodbye, England's rose.
Whatever you say,
The invisible man.
we'll say a little bit for you. It takes a little time sometimes.
That's the impression that I get.
Well, what do you think? The answer and a twist to the top song from the month and year are coming up.
Hi folks, this is Sandy at Gill Sales and Service. When it comes to laundry, it's true what they say. They don't make them like they used to, but Speed Queen still does. Speed Queen washers and dryers are built using premium metal components, not plastic. They're manufactured with rugged, commercial-grade construction, and they're pushed beyond their limits in their state-of-the-art lab to deliver 25 years of premium performance in your home. Speed Queen, built better to last longer. Get your Speed Queen at Gale Sales and Service, 1605 West Main in Fairfield.
September 1997. I just wanna fly.
Sugar Ray and Fly, the top song of September 1997. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another time capsule.
Let Carnaby help you save this week on all winter clothing. Take an extra 25% off any yellow tag clothing item. This sale includes winter merchandise marked down 25 to 75%. Brighton's awesome Queen of Love canvas tote is free with a $125 Brighton purchase. So many new collections being delivered just in time for Valentine's Day. Don't forget, stop in this week and save an extra 25% off any yellow tag clothing item. Woohoo! Shop Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield and experience the Carnaby difference.
J. Wilderman Autoplex, Ford, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, and Mount Carmel is the tri-state small-town automotive giant. With over 150 new vehicles, we do what it takes to earn your business. Low price, low payments, and giant trade allowances to top off the deal. New Ford truck discounts up to $13,000 and new Ram discounts up to $14,000. We also offer a giant selection of pre-owned vehicles with the lowest prices in the tri-state. Stop by for a friendly buying experience and view all of our 2019 kickoff specials at jwildermanautoplex.com.
This is the show about nothing. Morning Coffee, streaming on YouTube and live on the station listened to, not just heard. WFIW.
So happy to have Chris Conard here with us on Morning Coffee this morning. Want to remind you about the big deals. All you have to do is go on our webpage, click in the upper right-hand corner. You can get some great deals, deals from Nap Oil, as well as Southern Illinois Tile and Carpet. The Taco Factory, Uniquely Rustique, has a deal where you can buy certificates for $10. Now you can get those certificates for $5. So you pay $5 online, you get a certificate from us for $10. So I mean it's a half price deal at Uniquely Rustique. You can't find a better deal than that. Also, Three Chicks Fudgery, also $10 gift certificates. We have a lot more, but check it out. See if there's something there that can save you some money.
Out in Oklahoma, game warden Cannon Harrison filled out a profile for an online dating app.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, he was matched with a woman and was surprised when she sent him a message that said she had bagged a big buck.
What does that mean?
It means exactly what I said. She had bagged a big buck.
Yes.
Uh-huh. So, Harrison said he thought somebody was just messing with him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he sent the woman a message back. And wrote back and said, "Heck yeah! Get him with a bow?" When the woman sent back a message that says, no, I didn't get her with a bow, he asked her if she had been spotlighting, an illegal tactic that involves shining a light into the animal's eyes to stun it before shooting it.
Right.
And she replied, "Yeah, buddy."
Oh, my.
Next, she sent Harrison a photo of herself with the trophy, and Harrison went to work. He tracked her down, and then he appeared at her door. The woman paid a fine and will avoid jail time and probably a date with Warden Harrison.
So
because hunting season had ended.
So there was no opportunity for love there.
Apparently not.
I found an interesting story. 1 in 3 consumers fear they will max out a credit card. 1 in 3 people, or 86 million Americans, say they're afraid they'll max out their credit card when making a large purchase. Still, most Americans continue to take on ever-increasing amounts of credit card debt. Does that figure surprise you, Chris?
No, I'm not surprised at all. No.
You said
No.
you don't have a credit card.
I do not have a credit card, but not because I choose not. I'd love to have a credit card, but I had them, and I maxed them out. So
you learned a lesson.
Learned my lesson.
You're
Stay
1 in
away.
3.
Yeah. What do they say? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I listen to a lot of
Shame on me again.
A lot of Dave Ramsey on our radio station on the AM and 103.3, and he says get rid of your credit cards. What do you say?
I say use them for points, but make sure they're paid off every month.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's the smart thing.
Well,
And
there's a
then-
lot of opportunities with the cards out there and the points you can get. I was telling you guys earlier, last January we went to Disney, didn't spend a penny.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
That's a pretty expensive place.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
You can get caught up. How long were you there?
We were there 3 days, and then we went to Legoland, which is just south of there, for a couple of days. Legoland. Now,
Tell
you guys
me
play
about-
with Legos.
tell me
didn't you?
about Legoland.
Legoland.
Yeah.
Just kind of a smaller theme park, much cheaper, probably a little cleaner. But in the center, they have several huge Lego displays.
Oh,
the White House, villages. It's really neat. I think you ought to go there.
Tom Levine is a big Lego guy.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen some of
I've
the
seen
stuff.
some of the
I've seen
stuff,
the stuff
yeah.
he's built. I mean, he built a ship in a
In a bottle.
a Lego ship in a bottle this year.
I couldn't build
That's
a
pretty-
ship
I
outside
think
of
he
a
built
bottle.
Buckingham Palace last year, I think. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I don't. For me, when I do Legos, because I do them for the grandson every once in a while,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I always have pieces left over.
We always buy them for our daughter and then take them to my folks' house and leave them there.
To let them put
To
together?
let them put together, yeah.
Well, we talk about what has been a pretty good run until this most recent stretch in the market. Things have been kind of clunking over the last 6, 7 months. But
We had a pretty bad October, yeah.
yeah, but overall, I remember when I decided I was not going to take the retirement system from Illinois. I was going to invest it myself. I'll never forget the guy saying, "Listen, there's going to be dips in this. How long are you going to stay in?" I said, "Well, gee, I'm not going to retire for another 20 years." I said that 20 years ago. He said, "You're fine. This is the way to go."
Mm-hmm.
And
Sure.
he was right.
Yeah.
I'm glad I listened to him.
I try to tell people that it's a marathon, it's not a sprint.
So but it doesn't surprise you that people get themselves in that kind of trouble.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. But what I have seen lately in the last few years is an influx of the younger generation coming in and starting earlier. We see
Really?
Yeah, we see people coming in at 23, 25 years old.
Wow.
And starting to put back what I would say significant amounts of money on a monthly basis.
I was never that smart.
So
yeah.
Really wasn't. I mean, and I guess that's a testament to maybe the way they were raised.
I would say that has something to do with it, for sure. And then I think a lot of them, maybe they were in high school, but they remember 2008 and the first part of 2009, and they saw what happened, or they probably heard what their parents were saying when they were opening their statements, and they thought, hey, I think I'm going to start this early.
Yeah.
So, well, that's good advice.
You know?
Saw this also. I don't know. Have you ever seen the... there's other... I have 2 stories here. Let me try this one first. The mayor of South Bend, Indiana, he's 37 years old. He's forming an exploratory committee for a 2020 presidential bid.
The mayor of who is the mayor of South Bend, Indiana?
A guy by the name of Pete Bunnygig. Bunnygig. That's what it looks like.
You could have some fun with that campaign, couldn't
yeah,
you? Yeah.
Gotcha.
Buttigieg. Bunnygig.
Bunnygig.
Anyway, he's touted for improving the city of 100,000, that being South Bend. But it seems to me that that's a pretty far. Do you think that voters in, say, Iowa, and he's going to Iowa. He's going to be going to Iowa to stump.
Every candidate goes to Iowa.
Yeah, but I mean, you're the mayor of South Bend. What kind of chops is that?
Well, you're going to walk in, you're going to say, hey, I'm the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. And somebody in, Ames, Iowa is going to go, where?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he'll go, where Notre Dame is. Oh, okay.
How do you get a crowd? You know what I mean? If you're in
Right.
Iowa, you've got to have people that are going to put, you're going to go out and do those coffees or stuff like that. How do you get 25 people together willing to listen to you when you're 37 and you say, yeah, I got to tell you something. I've turned around South Bend.
Biscuits and gravy.
That'll
Free
bring them out.
coffee, free biscuits and gravy. People will
let me
show up.
That's what I stand for. Not a ham in every pot, but biscuits and gravy on every plate.
That's right.
Come and see me. I turned around South Bend. The country's next. I just thought that was really interesting. Have you guys ever seen this one lady called the Bikini Climber?
No.
No, I've not
No,
seen
I
this
haven't,
one.
no.
But
you have any screenshots?
Yeah, I was
at
going
all?
to say maybe we
you
need
probably
to see this
could. You
one.
probably could. But you're going to miss her because this is what she did. She's a social media star. She was taking photos on top of mountains in a bikini. She didn't make it. She fell down the side of a mountain.
Oh.
Her name is Gigi Wu. She was known as the Bikini Hiker. Depending on translation, she was famous for her stunning photos on social media. Wu would climb to the top of mountain peaks and documented her adventure in an unconventional way. I bet you it's pretty cold up there.
Well,
I would think, yeah.
Freeze your niblets off.
That's right. By always appearing in her photos in a bikini. On Saturday, this past Saturday, Wu found dead by rescue workers after falling about 65 feet into a valley in Taiwan's Yushan National Park. Newspaper reports say that she had been on a solo hike for 8 days and unfound.
Wow.
Well, they found her, but they didn't know where she was.
Now, was it a scheduled solo hike for 8 days, or
Apparently.
was she going out for like a couple of days and then
it turned in?
nobody called
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
It could have been a 2-day thing, and nobody found her for 8 days.
Yeah.
But she died of not from the fall, but from hypothermia.
Well, yeah, if you're wearing a bikini.
I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Well, we saw the pictures. Maybe we would understand it.
Well, I don't. You're not turning that computer around yet. Don't do that until the break.
I got a phone.
Oh, okay. So, what's the latest with you, Chris? Tell us about what's going on with you, and what do you think about where we are as an economy right now? What are you telling people?
Well,
I need some free consult here. I got you on the air.
That's what you're after. Year to date, I think we've done pretty well. Now, we ended the year from October through December pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But year to date, I'm pretty optimistic. Yeah.
Good.
I think, a lot of these companies learned their lesson from 2008. A lot of them are sitting on mountains of cash, more cash than they've ever had. And we will have hiccups in the market or turbulence. But since they've learned that lesson, I don't think we're going to see what we saw again in 2008 for quite some time.
So they laid back a bunch of cash so that if there's another bad time, they'll survive by virtue of what they put back.
I think so, yeah. Yep.
What do you think about the term too big to fail?
I don't think anyone's too big to fail.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Totally.
No, we saw that Lehman Brothers several years ago. I remember being on the phone with some of our analysts the night before, around 7 o'clock, telling us that Lehman Brothers wouldn't fail. And the next morning, I go into the office, and I have to call all my Lehman Brothers bondholders and tell them that they lost everything.
Wow. That was in 2008?
I don't recall the year on that, Mike.
Wow.
It was probably around there, yeah.
Well, I mean, people are smart enough, and the era I came from, a generation that was raised by the generation that remembers the Great Depression.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
I mean, so there were still relatives of mine putting money, in mattresses, and they would save back strawberries in a freezer because you never know when we might need to have them and stuff like that.
And other things, household items.
Mm-hmm.
They would. I mean, I remember my grandfather. He had his house. He had a small house behind him that was just absolutely full of everything
Stuff.
And anything.
We would call them hoarders today, wouldn't we?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
but
it
he didn't
wasn't
live
his
there.
House.
Yeah.
He didn't live there. It was just his shop area. But I mean, you'd go in there and you'd say, okay, one year, for instance, our stove quit.
Right.
He looked at me and said, I got something for you. He went and dug around in the shop for about half an hour. Out he comes with a cast iron cook stove that hooks up to my gas.
There you go. That's the gift that keeps on giving.
Here's the one I could never figure out. I went through my grandparents' stuff, a few years back, and for whatever reason, now please try to tell me how they saved every issue of TV Guide for 40 years. I mean, they were documented. They were put in boxes
In order.
in order.
Okay.
I mean, the here's the 1976 box.
I would say you got something there. Do they even put out TV Guide anymore? I don't know.
I don't know if they do either.
Yeah.
You don't need it when you have a guide on your cable or your internet delivered. But anyway, for whatever reason, they thought that was significant.
What did they do with them?
They never opened up the boxes after they put them in there. They stacked them up, and I have no idea what they thought.
Yeah.
That it was going to be valuable down the road, or if they needed to go back and consult the way the TV was in 1968. I have no idea. But it took up a considerable amount of space. Other things that people keep are going through some family stuff as well, and people don't know what to do with old TVs.
No, the great big old heavy.
Yes!
Yeah.
I mean,
Now you get an 85-inch and you can pick it up with one hand.
A flat screen.
Yeah.
But for a moment, some of those TVs, I mean, even 1970 or 1980 model, they weigh 80, 90 pounds. The big screen ones.
And they have the wood box around them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they weigh more than 80 or 90
What do you do with them?
those kinds.
What do you do with them? I mean, they won't take them. The city won't take them.
Make a fish bowl. You take the thing out and you make an aquarium out of it. All right?
I have no idea.
We have a call. Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
Hello?
Hello? Okay. Well, they hung up on us.
I thought somebody's going to help me out.
Yeah, they must have not wanted to talk to us.
We had one at the house. What happens when you buy a house, sometimes people will leave the TVs there because they don't want to deal with it. They leave it with you, and you look at it when you don't want to make it the deal breaker when you buy a house.
Right.
But my gosh, you almost have to take them apart to be able to get them if they were upstairs.
Yeah.
You can't get them down the steps. They're so heavy.
Oh, you can get them down the steps.
Oh yeah, you can. You can roll them down the steps. If
you can just throw them over the steps.
Some of those tubes will explode.
Yeah, they do.
So anyway, I'm not sure exactly what. I know of a family place that has several of those TVs, and I don't have any advice on what to do with them. Quite honestly,
there's nothing you can do. I mean, because it costs you money to get rid of them.
Yeah, and
in some cases, more than you paid for them, depending on where you got them.
Well, it's confounding for me. We ready for another break?
We are. Want to let you know about TT.
Guess what? Before you tell it, we've got somebody who brought trivia.
I've got trivia.
Oh, that's right.
He's got trivia here.
Sir Dave Land.
Oh, did he really? He gave it to you?
No. But when you asked me to be on, I said I'm going.
He's in the Dave Land chair.
Yeah,
that's true.
So he's responsible for Dave.
We're going to do some trivia questions. We're going to see how well you guys know.
Okay.
This is going to be business trivia.
Oh no! We're in trouble.
I think you'll be okay.
Trouble here.
Go ahead.
TT Designs at 1411 West Main in Fairfield, ready to complete your idea. Mules attire perfect for every season. Step in to get your Mules basketball shirt for the next game, available from newborn through 5XL. Visit TTT Designs for all your printing needs.
What does your morning sound like?
Goodbye, baby.
She's finally asleep.
Hi, welcome to McDonald's.
Can I get a sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles?
Here's to making your morning routine a little better with a delicious breakfast from McDonald's.
Come to McDonald's for breakfast and enjoy 2 savory bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits for just $4. Price and participation may vary. For a limited time, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
This Friday, January 25th from 4 to 7 p.m., Steph's Coffee Shop in Milshows is cooking up a patron favorite. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and baked beans, artisan bread, and a dessert and a drink, all by donation. Local seamstress Mindy Isaacs will join us to show and sell her unique and personalized Valentine gifts for all ages. Shop till you drop, eat till you pop at Steph's Coffee Shop this Friday and every Friday, cooking up some community spirit.
Ubinger's Furniture Company is having a huge financing special. Now for a limited time, take advantage of no-interest financing up to 3 full years. Minimum purchase and approval required. See store for details. Yes, that's right. At Ubinger's, we know how to help you save big. So now you can get all that furniture and bedding you have been longing for. But hurry before it's too late. Only at Ubinger's Furniture Company, where the financing deals are worth the drive. Highway 50 East, Flora.
When it comes to protecting the people you love, you want that protection to last a lifetime. A whole life insurance policy from Country Financial can help you do just that. Take the first step towards protecting your family today by calling me, Steve Thompson. I will help you understand the types of benefits offered with whole life insurance.
Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. For cost and complete coverage details, contact Steve Thompson.
We all know home is where the heart is. Now the experts at Carrier have put a new twist on that notion. Introducing the Carrier Core Thermostat, the heart of a smarter home. With the Core Thermostat, you can control your home comfort from across the room or across the country. The Core Thermostat also monitors your energy usage and turns it into reports you can use to save money. Call Sam or Kara at Complete HVAC and Plumbing today at 445-3329 or visit their website at completehvac.org.
Time to check that Fairfield area weather forecast. Rain changing to snow today with a high 48. Clearing tonight late with the low 20. For tomorrow, partly cloudy, high 35. Mostly sunny, 25 tomorrow or for Friday. Cloudy skies 32 on Saturday, and for Sunday, chance for snow with a high of 35. Overnight low was 49. Yesterday's high was 40. About 1 inch of rain has fallen here at the WFIW studios in the last 24 hours. Currently, humidity at 93%. Winds out of the south at 10 miles an hour. Pressure at 29.81. Rain continues to fall. We've got 49 here at the WFIW studios east of Fairfield. Radar showing that line of rain moving to the northeast out of southwest Missouri this morning, engulfing pretty much the entire state of Illinois.
The phone number to call in is 842-3715. Now, back to Morning Coffee on WFIW, YouTube, and WFIWradio.com.
I just looked. We have quite a few people viewing us this morning. You must be somewhat of a rock star.
I told you I had a face for radio.
There's
so
a lot of
yeah,
people,
I guess
a lot of
so.
people watching us. So, got a call? Is that what's going on here before
we might have a call.
Right.
Let's check. Good morning. You're on Morning Coffee.
I got something that, if you guys got time, I'd like to put out there for public thought.
Okay.
I started getting a bunch of robocalls here in the last couple of weeks. For whatever reason, when I blocked the number on my phone, it still lets me go to voicemail, and I got tired of emptying all voicemails, so I called this one outfit. And just to tell them, take me off your list. I'm not interested. Well, it turns out the guy answers the phone as IRS agent so-and-so and gives me a badge number. What is your name? I said, you don't need my name. I'm not in trouble with the IRS. I'll call them if I am something else. But anyway, in the process of me telling him that, he came up with my name.
Ooh.
I mean, yeah, you're...
That's kind of scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this problem with the IRS, and you're going to wind up in court, and they're going to find you.
Oh, it's one of those calls. Okay.
Yeah, I've had one of those before. Wow.
For identification purposes, we need your data.
They keep calling, huh?
Well, yeah, they drove me nuts. They kind of finally quit now, but anyway, I called the county sheriff to see if there was anything we could do about it. And they told me that there's nothing can be done because they're not using it as so they're normally sitting on some little island out in the ocean. We can't do a thing with it.
I can't hear. What did you say? What did the sheriff say?
You were kind of cutting out a little bit.
The sheriff said there's nothing we can do with them. They're generally sitting on some little island out in the ocean.
Oh, I see. I see. All right.
All right.
You can't do anything with them, and I got to thinking about it.
Yeah.
And most of those little countries like that exist foreign aid, probably ours.
Sure. Yeah, I understand. I can
Yeah, I
understand
get
why
it
the
all the
sheriff
time,
would have told you that as well if it's an offshore call. But I think I'd block them, and I would certainly.
But many of the robocalls anymore show up with a local number.
Makes it more difficult to be
Yeah.
able to detect. Yeah. Wanted to mention. Thanks for the call. By the way, I want to mention about this. This basketball game is brand new. I mean, people do they understand that Saturday there has been a new basketball game added to the schedule?
Mules have added Effingham to the schedule. The
Saturday afternoon.
Saturday afternoon. JV game starting at 3 o'clock. This is because of the cancellation of last weekend's evening session
Right.
at the Carmike tournament. The Mules were allowed to schedule someone. Wasn't sure that they were going to be able to find anybody because of the fact that who wants to play them? They're 21-2.
Effingham's a pretty meaty. You're very familiar with
How
the
is
Effingham
Effingham
program.
this year?
Effingham is fair to Millen, and they got a pretty good 3-year starter and a kid by the name of Wolf. Ironic, it's really funny. Effingham's 5 starters, 2 are brothers. Actually, 4 are brothers.
4 are brothers.
Yep.
4 of the 5?
4 of the 5 are brothers, from what I understand. 2 brothers and 2 brothers.
That's
and
going to
then a
make
and then a big
Wow.
kid.
That's going to make calling the game impossible.
It's going to be a nightmare.
could make it easier.
Yeah, well, that's
Smith
true.
to Smith, over to Jones, Jones to Jones.
Well, we played Carmike girls last year. Fairfield played Carmike girls last year, and I think they at one point they had 4 Smiths on the floor.
Oh my!
So if you make a mistake, nobody notices.
Yeah, that's right. Smith to Smith.
All right,
up to
so
the shot Smith gets.
So we got to remind we're going to be airing that. That's an addition to the schedule.
Yep.
Early game.
Yep.
On Saturday, and people might want to come out to Mule Barn. That would be a good one to watch.
Oh yeah, I think it would be. It ought to be an awfully good game.
By the way, the wind's getting angry back there behind you, buddy. I've never seen those trees move before
Blowing
like that.
blowing in that cold air, I guess.
And second, wanted to mention that WSIL opportunity. Brian Estes is featured as one of the players of the week. He needs votes. We put it on our Facebook page for you to easily get to it and vote early and often.
Yep. The deadline is midnight tonight, so get there quick.
All right. We have been prepped now. We're ready for Chris Conard's
Business
opportunity.
trivia.
Business
trivia.
Chris Conard's business trivia bonanza.
Okay. You
All right.
keeping the tallies, Mark?
I will.
No.
You got it? You got a mic?
I got it.
Jeff, or Mike.
So we got 10 questions. We'll see how
10
we
questions.
do. How do you think you're going to do there?
Probably not very well.
All right. I'm going to give it a solid 5.
5?
Okay.
I think you can do a 5. I think
right.
you can pull a 5.
All right, well.
Go ahead.
What was Henry Ford's first mass-produced car?
Okay, I'm going to say. You want me to go ahead first?
Well, you got to wait a second.
Well, I'm waiting.
Okay.
How about
go ahead.
How about Model A?
I'm going to go with the
Close.
Model T.
Both very close.
Okay.
What is
Model N.
Model N.
1906.
I've never even heard of that.
Sold for $500. Model N.
Never heard of it.
For new.
Is
For
there?
new.
Are they out there?
I've
think
never
they're
even
worth
heard of
something.
All the
Model
American
N.
pickers, I think.
Yeah. All right. 0 for 1.
Over 1. How much did the first 3 minutes of a call cost when commercial telephone services were introduced between New York and London in 1927?
Oh my!
How much did the
Are you
first
going to give us a
3 minutes
range?
call?
You going to give us a range?
Yeah, you-
Between 0 and 200.
Oh, that's not much of a range. He's a hard butt.
He is.
Between 0 and 100.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to. How much per minute?
How much were 3 minutes?
How much were
3
3
minutes. Right. If you give me the per minute, I can do the math and tell you.
I'm going to say $75. What do you say?
Bing, 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 bing. $75.
$75.
$75.
That's a
In
win.
1927. And I did some math on that and calculated and figured in inflation, and it came up to today's dollars to a bunch.
Oh,
a bunch.
That's a scientific official term, right?
Absolutely, a bunch.
Okay.
All right. Well, I pulled that one.
Okay,
out.
Mark,
Good
I think
knowledge.
this one's yours. What
Well, I hope so.
fast food chain founded in 1964 was named for brothers Forrest and Leroy Raffle? Fast food chain, 1964.
The Raffles.
Raffles.
Rallies.
Very close. Mike, you have a
Raffles.
Raffles.
I'm going to say Arby's.
Arby's is correct. The name stands for RB Raffle Brothers.
There you go.
Arby's.
Wow.
I'm on
You
a
are
roll.
knocking it out of the park,
I'm on
man.
a roll. Go ahead.
Frank W. Woolworth started selling 5-cent goods in 1878 and added 10-cent items in 1880.
Okay.
When did he begin offering 32-cent items? 32-cent items.
Go ahead. Your turn.
1927.
Very close. Very close, Mark.
I'm going to say 35.
32-cent items were added in 1932.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we missed that one.
That makes sense.
With what product did the term brand name originate?
Brand name. The product or the type of product?
The type of product.
Okay, I'm gonna say flour.
Flour.
How about you,
Mark?
Rum.
Oh, you are very close. It's whiskey. Whiskey. Producers branded their names on the barrels that they shipped out.
I should have known that.
Hence the term brand name. We'll give you half. I give him a half point.
All right,
that was close.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna get half point there. Good. We're doing pretty well.
Okay. What unusual use did non-drinker Andy Warhol make of Absolute Vodka, the Swedish liquor for which he and other artists created a series of innovative print ads? What other use did he make of it? Andy Warhol.
Drinks for guests at his home.
No,
he's talking about there was he created something.
Another use.
No, what use did he use Absolute Vodka for? What did he use that for?
Oh, maybe as paint?
He claimed to use
Paint
it as
thinner.
Perfume.
Oh! Andy was getting some kind of a lush, I guess.
I'm not aware of any vodka that has a smell, but
no.
All right. Well, got that wrong.
Okay, you'll know this one.
Think so?
That's what he said.
Let's
previous
let's
questions
test that
too,
theory.
What was the last 12-cylinder car produced in the United States?
In the United States.
12-cylinder car.
Produced in the United States, huh?
Wow. I'll give you a hint. It was 1948.
1948.
It's a Ford product.
No, I was going to say something else.
The
1948.
12 cylinders.
12 cylinders.
Bet that thing had a Hemi in it.
Yeah.
Two
Hemis, as a matter of fact.
I'm at a loss at a Ford product that would have 12 cylinders, quite honestly.
I'm going to go with the Edsel.
That was in
the Lincoln
50s.
Continental.
Lincoln Continental.
Lincoln Continental.
All right.
Sticking with our automobile
Wouldn't
theme.
that be a Lincoln product?
That would Ford Lincoln?
Well,
Is that
Ford
right?
Ford
I'm
bought them.
yeah,
I don't know that they
I'm
were
trying
original.
to,
wiggle out an answer here,
Yeah,
aren't you?
That's right.
For whom was the Mercedes automobile named? For whom was the Mercedes automobile
Fred
named?
Mercedes.
Oh.
No, I have no idea. Do you?
Mercedes Dreeth. I don't know.
Very close. I'll give you half a point. Mercedes Daimler, the daughter of German automaker Gottlieb Daimler.
Which ended up being part of Daimler Chrysler. Right? Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Two left.
So I'm responsible for half a point today.
I give you two.
You got
halves.
two. You got
Yeah,
two
got a total of
opportunities here.
one.
Come on.
What phrase is said to be the most oft-printed warning in the history of printed words? What phrase? Most oft-printed.
Warning. You said warning.
Warning.
Okay.
You're going with that?
No. He said it was
It's
a warning.
Okay. Most often printed.
Often printed warning in the history of printed word.
This is going to be a trick question.
Do not touch.
Slippery when wet.
Close cover before striking. The words of caution that appear on most matchbooks.
I had no idea. I would have never thought of
Close
that.
Would have thought of that.
And finally.
Okay, we got to go out strong here.
Okay.
We got to do something.
You guys will know this. It's close to home. What state was the home of the U.S. auto industry before World War I and the rise of Michigan? What state
was the
home of the U.S. auto industry before Michigan?
Before Michigan.
And before World War I.
I'd have to say New York.
Ohio.
Indianapolis.
Indiana.
Indiana was the state. Indianapolis 500 auto race held annually on Memorial Day.
Of course.
Dates
All right.
back to 1911.
Looks like we only got 3.5.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
We need to go back to school on stuff like this.
Yeah. Those were tough
You
questions.
Those were
knocked
tough.
You knocked us down, buddy. We
Those were tough.
didn't do, but
We're down a notch.
But we do appreciate that you brought them.
Yeah.
You know, guests that bring them like that, and we had one last week.
They earn a coffee mug.
So we got a coffee mug.
We're going to give you
Thank
a morning
Can you
coffee
get that on
coffee
the,
mug.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
on the
right
screen
there. You can see it.
Yeah.
There it is. Let me get you. There's
You'll
the
zoom that in.
There it is. There he is, and he's got his morning coffee.
Thank you
coffee
guys
mug.
for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Chris Conner, the
we'll do it
hand
again.
model for the coffee cups.
All right.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.
All the important news here first. This is WFIW FM Fairfield, the station listened to, not just heard, 104.9 FM.
Time now for the news, brought to you by Boyd Furniture and Mattress Center in downtown Wayne City. Stop by for a rest test. 20 mattresses on display. Try their adjustable beds for maximum comfort.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster.